everyone, my name is Inoran and I will be presenting to you on behalf of my organization today at the Australian Conference of Economists event. For today's event, we will be mainly covering topics related to the economy, such as touching on social tax, explaining traffic, and the growth of the economy. It is crucial for individuals to be found of the current economic concept of the business environment. By having a solid understanding of the economic, individual will gain better insight relating to pricing strategy and investment trends. Hence, our decision making would widely be more accurate as individuals can better identify cost saving opportunities while maximizing their revenue and profitability. For the first topic of today, I will be explaining the impact of consumption tax. Consumption tax are the tax that were created based on the spending of individuals for purchasing products and services. From the graph shown, it can be seen that the area between the demand curve and the original price represent consumer surplus. Within a consumption tax, the price paid by consumer increase, the consumer surplus will decrease. On the other hand, producer surplus is the region between the supply curve and the original price. A consumption tax lowers the price received by producers, also reducing the producer surplus. The middle of the graph showcases the dead weight loss, which represent the loss of the total surplus due to market inefficiency caused by the tax. Dead weight loss would occur due to a tax distortion of the market equilibrium. The elasticity of the demand and supply determines the overall size of the dead weight loss. In general, the more inelastic the demand and supply, the larger the dead weight loss. As to conclude, for this diagram, a decline in consumer surplus and the presence of a triangle dead weight loss area should all be provided on the diagram. Moving on, I will be presenting to you a finding that was concluded from the IMF study, which was conducted by Diffusory, the Deputy Division Chief of the Regional Studies Division of the Asia and Pacific Department of the IMF. From the graph given, we can see that both supply and traffic will imply. Traffic are basically used for custom duties and merchandise imports. Traffic benefit the government as it increases government income while giving locally produced items a pricing edge over imported versions of identical commodities. For example, domestic customers might pay more for imported products that are subject to traffic. This will result in a reduction in the quantity demand, whereas impose an upward shift in the domestic supply curve. Lastly, the quantity trade will decrease, while the new equilibrium price will be greater than the initial equilibrium price. As you can see, this graph also implies the dead weight loss. However, both of the dead weight loss in question 1 and question 2 act differently. Let me briefly explain the difference between the two. Next, I will be touching on the concept of aggregate demand as well as its relation to GDP. Aggregate demand refers to the total level of spending including all finished goods and services produced in the economy. The graph provided shows how consumption tax generally impact the aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Aggregate demand consumption tax cause products and services to be more expensive for consumers, which lower their disposable income. This causes consumer spending to decline. Shift the AD curve to the left. The real GDP will be lower while price will also be reduced in the new equilibrium. Aggregate supply consumption tax also make an impact on the cost of production of business. Higher tax on inputs or manufacturing producers raise production costs, which reduce the overall supply. As a result, the AS curve shifts to the left, resulting in a decline in real GDP and a potential increase in price. In overall, consumption tax may have the combined impact of reducing aggregate demand and supply, which may lead to higher prices and reduction in real GDP. The magnitude of the impact depends on the elasticity of demand and supply. Following on, I will be explaining tax policy and its impact on the economy. Tax policy refers to the set of principles and guidelines employed by government to design, implement, and administer taxes. Tax policy plays an impacting role in terms of economic growth. A graph using an ADAS model was included. Overall, the long-term benefit of a tax improve people's health can include increased productivity, higher income, increased consumption and investment, reduced unemployment, and increased potential output. These factors can contribute to economic growth and improve economic performance. However, we should take note that the scale of this benefit will vary depending on a number of variables, including the tax rate, the efficacy of health improvements, and how openly people and companies would accept these changes. The long-term advantages will also take some time to manifest and might be impacted by additional economic variables and policies. In conclusion, a tax that improves people's health has the potential to generate long-term benefits for the economy by positively impacting both aggregate demand and aggregate. To conclude my presentation, we have discussed topics relating to consumption tax, consequences of traffic, economic growth, and tax policy. The points discussed would have provided a deeper insight regarding the economic market. Last but not least, I would like to encourage all to take the chance to explore more about economics. Thank you for having me here today.